Hey, Sharon. Were you just on the last chat? Excuse me. Yeah, they're got a big solar flare. That's not supposed to be coming for a while. You're right, ACB. That's true. Yeah, I noticed yesterday too that every time that I ended, hey, my enemy, every time that I ended a chat or something, it said error occurred. Oh, okay, Sharon. Where's Rita? I want to ask her about this dental stuff. I'm not going to do the bubbles. I need all the help I can get. You're remaining silent, huh, Sharon? Hopefully, hey, when it came back on, you guys, did you get a notice, or do you just or were you looking for it and you saw it? That's okay, Sharon. It's up to you. No pressure. Hey, Luna. Oh, you had to look for it. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Oh, it says I have another one still alive. Yeah, see, it was weird because, like I said, when I try every day that I shut one down, it says error occurred, like it's not going to be visible. I mean, I don't. It's not that big a deal, but it definitely has not worked right. And I thought, well, maybe restart my phone, but I think it's a YouTube issue, not necessarily an internet one, but I'm not sure of that. Yeah, no, I'm on their shit list. Believe me, they're not promoting guys like me at all. I think I've been tied into this, bullshit with some of these crazy channels, even though I wasn't the originator of it all. And I just got written out of the new code. Oh, okay, Luna. Okay. But so far, my visit's been great. Visit my neighbors, talk to them, and I'm friendly with my neighbors, but it was not never like, you know, I don't give the vibe that I want to be coming over for dinner. Oh, both lives. Oh, that is so weird because when I signed off it, I know that can happen. So what's happening is that's the error occurred, I think, because it didn't sign off like it should have. Yeah, we're back partying. Rita, I'm curious, why do you think that about dental? Yeah, it's confusing. It's weird. I mean, there's nothing else I could have done. On my end, it looked like I was turning it off and starting over, but I guess I'm not. Well, good luck getting an answer on the other one. Hi, Melissa. Yeah, we had a good time. Yeah, it was nice. That place is expensive, though. I mean, I don't care taking him out. Yeah, about dental. He has a good time, but I don't see how people up there afford to eat there. Pizza's like 27 bucks. I gave the guy a super big tip because they're very kind to Anthony up there. He thinks nothing of coming up to the register when people are trying to pay and ask questions. And, people aren't always the kindest. And this guy showed Anthony the smoker and was very nice to him and made him feel comfortable. He even commented on the way home that he liked going there. The people were friendly. So it was worth it to me. Yeah, $27, Melissa. Yeah, right around there if you with the right toppings. The 14 is like $4 more or something like that. But our bill before the tip was $71. Yeah, I thought it was crazy too. And I read, it was funny. I was online the other night and I was reading the reviews, and they've been bitching about how much they charge her. Well, that's going to happen in places like this. But the other side of it is it was absolutely excellent pizza. I mean, I'd go back there again and pay that. It wasn't like some cheap crap Little Caesars. It was good. But food costs now for quality pizza. If you like pizza and you look around your area. I don't know if you have a Jets. I'm not a big fan of Jets Pizza. Those are licensing agreements. They're not franchises, which are much different, which is why you can go to one and it's very nice, and another one that's a total dump. But look for Grande Cheese. It's a company out of Wisconsin. That speaks volumes for a place that's selling pizza because it's very expensive, but it really is an ass kicker cheese. Grande Cheese. Oh, good, Dave. Oh, what for you look for? Well, I've got all the high-end Sonys and the high-end Nikons. I think I've got three D850s. I've got all the low light. I've got supposedly the lowest light Sony they make, full frame. The whole what you're looking for is light gathering ability by the sensor. You want a full frame sensor and you want a fast lens. I mean, honestly, for good cave, you're going to have a hard time without a flash hand holding anything in a cave. Cave photography is its own genre. So, would you be cool with a flash or not really? The learning curve is fairly stiff on cave photography. And you kind of got to drag a tripod around with you and have a remote because any movement at all will cause blur. I mean, I'm sure there are books out there that talk about cave photography or YouTube videos, but you want a full frame sensor, very light sensitive, and you want a fast lens. And you're looking at about $5,000 used. Yeah, yeah, you might be right. Yeah, that's how Grande, but that Grande cheese is excellent. Yeah, that's the problem, the due diligence. That's exactly it. But I mean, the government takes care of it. For video, not pics, same thing. You want a full frame sensor. See, but I don't think that light is going to work good for video. There are specific light sources that you need for video. It's complicated. This is what I think you should do. I'm not saying pull the trigger. Tomorrow, call B&H Photography in New York City. They're smart Jews that know everything. And get a hold of the camera department and just tell them that you're a cave guy and what kind of camera do they suggest and what kind of lens. Because I guarantee you, they have 900 employees or something. I guarantee you someone there has dealt with this before and they know what to get. Hey, Kay, how you doing? Good, how you doing? Yeah, that's the thing, Reed. I just, it's dental is categorized as cosmetic. Either you have your real teeth, you don't. And they do pay for fillings and cleanings, but they're not doing caps and crowns and that kind of thing. I think that'd break the system if they did that. They'll pull your teeth and give you dentures, and that's in their eyes good enough. And I kind of have to agree with them. Oh yeah, super. You'll never find more knowledgeable people. You're going to pay about 15% more, but you better know what you're doing with your equipment. But you're never going to find smarter people, no bullshitting around. Oh, prevention. Yeah, well, I mean, they preach that. I think that'd finish off the system of Medicaid if they covered dental. I think they do that already. I mean, Marty's little niece, they always have like color in teeth and getting a toothbrush and blah, blah, blah. But there are a lot of associated problems with dental hygiene, that's for sure. Uh, well, it depends on how you divide poor. Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. If you're poor, you can get Medicaid. Now, you can be the working poor and not get it, but that's different. Yeah, no, they're experts. I just don't know enough about, that particular platform, but somebody there will know. No, it's crazy expensive implants. They sure are. Yeah. Yeah, the working poor. That's right. Well, I mean, you're right. That's a problem. The working poor. There are people that I agree it's unfortunate, but that's the way it's always been. I mean, I tell people all the time they like Christine, her medical care is expensive and you know, she probably thinks there should be a better deal. I mean, there's a certain point when your teeth get so bad that extraction's the way to go, believe it or not. I mean, I haven't had to happen, but I would if I met the criteria. Yeah, it will make it worse. That's because of light gathering ability. Yeah, you can forget about low light with GoPros. Now the 11's got that star tracker, but those are 30-second exposures with a wide open aperture. I mean, it's nothing you're going to handhold. Same with vision. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. Yep, that's true. No, there you go. 30,000. I believe that. Yeah. Yep, I believe it. No, it's crazy. A root canal and a crown, that's about 2,500 and a extraction and a implant is like about 6 grand. Crazy. I mean, just, 40 short years ago, if you had a job anywhere, it was one of the big three. It's probably part of the reason they went broke. We never had deductions for anything. My dad worked at Ford. I mean, that seems like it was 2,000 years ago. When we were young, like 18, 19, and we were on our own and weren't under the auspices of our parents' coverage, we would use our friends' Blue Cross Blue Shield. They didn't even ask for ID. Go to the emergency room and all sorts of shit. Yeah, right, Chris. Yeah, more than that, Melissa. Crazy. Yeah, it's a different world, sure is. Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, the vision's a weird one too. You can get like basic, you know, like prescription, but you're not getting trifocals and all that shit. No, exactly right. Yeah, you're right, Luna. That's true. Chewing ice is a big one. The number one breaker, though, of teeth, at least to the dentist I've talked, is popcorn seeds. Popcorn seeds. That cost me a damn root canal. It's a bad habit. Yeah, no, you're right about that, Dave. Yeah. Yeah, not everybody's a candidate for implants. And I don't like those. I don't think I'd want one of those partials and all that stuff, taking stuff out. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I do remember that. Sure did. Yep. Yeah, smoking's very hard on the gums. Yeah. Oh, okay. I believe that, Melissa. Yeah, I do. And you don't realize how hard you're biting down until you bite your tongue accidentally. You think you'd see it coming and you'd be soft if you were chewing popcorn seeds. My recommendation is get like the Orville Redenbachers. It's like if you cook it right, there aren't any seeds. That's the only way I keep from breaking any more teeth. It's a bad habit. I like the seeds. They're salty and they have that corn taste but it's definitely a bad habit. Oh, chewing nicotine gum? Really? That way, huh? Wow. Huh. Yeah, no, that's a good move, Melissa. Yeah, good idea. But if you get that good quality popcorn, it actually pops every single kernel. Yeah, exactly right. Stubbing your toe hurts like same with headbutts in boxing. You'll get two of the badasses out there in the world, getting their nose broke and their jaws broke and they're still fighting. You get a good headbutt, man, it just brings you to your knees. It's those nerve endings in that part of your skull. No, I think you're right. Do you still do that, Luna? And did you used to smoke? No, there's a lot of if you look at YouTube people, there's some real good uh there are a lot of videos that like really pretty women that have dentures. It's my dream date. I've got the same problem. I grind my teeth in night. I tell my dentist, look, I don't want to hear these fucking lectures about grinding your fucking teeth. I'm 67. I'm going to grind them for about another 10, 15 years, you know, and I tried wearing things in my mouth. I got 15 years left of these teeth. I'm going to keep on grinding now. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear these lectures on this grinding teeth and a $600 melted piece of 25-cent plastic in my mouth that you charge 700 for. I don't want to hear one more goddamn peep about it. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It's that addictive. Yeah, nicotine's like more addictive than crack. Hey, Don, how you doing? It's like all bad habits. Yeah, right. Yep, you're right about that, Rita. If I was like, some people just have great genetic components to teeth. I talked to this dentist and he's hygienist. They have people like in their 80s, their teeth look the same as they did were 18, just like good genes, strong teeth. Hey, waiting, how you doing? I think I have like okay teeth. That's about it. I can eat a fucking barbecue rib and I floss, water pick, and brush my teeth twice a day. So I mean, I hope it's going to get me through till its tits up. Yeah, it sure does. Look at black people's teeth. It's unbelievable, man. They look like they all had braces. The what? Not all. I'm generalizing, but a lot of blacks, like from even poverty-stricken areas, they have the best looking teeth. Straight. You never talk to them getting root canals and all this bullshit. I know people with great teeth that never flossed. So you'll that'll be a lot better. When's that going to happen for you, Christine? Excuse me. Yeah, that's a theory with some dentist drifter. Yeah, it was. They still do it. There's dentists that still do that. Yeah, yeah. Bad teeth run fast. UK too. Look at the UK. You go over to England, places like that, and it's like dental hygiene. I'll tell you who's really have bad teeth is in general now the Amish. Yeah, beautiful teeth. Yep. No, yeah, yeah. You're right about that, Rita. Good skin too. They age well. No, it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I tell the dentist, if I can like eat barbecued ribs for 15 more years, I'm happy. I probably like seem like I'm defensive about it. It's like when I go to a new dentist, I had them off at the past. Like, look, I have okay teeth. I know what to do. I've tried to do it. I use a soft brush. Get off my fucking ass. I water pick, use mouthwash, use floss. I don't want to hear about a fucking bite guard or any of this bullshit. Yeah, it is. It is. Although that's a fattier rib, believe it or not. They're baby back because of where they're located, not because they're the most tender. Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't realize this until I was bullshitting with the dentist last time. You know that mouthwash has 22% alcohol content in it? I knew it had alcohol in it, but I didn't know it was that high. Yeah, stupidly expensive. You can get them off eBay and stuff. I've had them. I just don't like something in my mouth. I don't like sleeping with something in my mouth. It feels like I'm suffocating. I know it's not going to happen, but it feels like I'm going to like inhale that thing while I'm sleeping. Yeah, good, Rita. Yeah, good. Well, I don't think it's as good, my enemy, but I had a couple I got when I first got down to Georgia, I was grinding my teeth. I would get up, my teeth would hurt in the morning. And so I got another mouth guard. And once I got over the hump, and I guess I don't grind them as bad anymore, I quit using it. But they do work. I mean, I do think a custom mouth guard's better. But I had a good dentist in Chicago, and he told me what a big scam they were. They cost them like $9, and they charge 600 and stuff. It's bullshit. You can get ones at Walgreens or anywhere. You put them in hot water. Yeah, no, that's what she said. Alcoholics drinking mouth. I don't know why you would drink mouthwash. It's more than beer. Why the hell would you? Why would you drink mouthwash? It's more expensive. It doesn't make any sense. If they were giving it out free, I could get it. But who would drink mouthwash when you can get Bud Light cheaper? Yeah, those CPAP machines, that's another thing. I mean, has anybody ever went into a sleep study and got out of there where they didn't want to give them a CPAP? They've come a long way. Now they can do surgery. You can get a shot now too uh, for like breathing problems. With it's usually that pot belly. That kind of fat is the worst fat. There's a link to sleep apnea and the use of and being overweight. But that causes all sorts of shit. High blood pressure, uh, poor sleep. And you can snore and not have sleep apnea. Oh, okay, Melissa. That makes sense. Yeah. Oh, a face jaw massage. Oh, okay. It probably works. I don't think I'd get one of those though. Oh, really, ACB? Yeah. That pink eye. I had a sister get pink eye on a cruise in Greece, and they made her get off. If you're on a cruise or certain excursions, and you go to the local doctor on the cruise ship, and you've got pink eye, they'll make you get the hell off. Oh wow, that is crazy. Drinking mouthwash, so that's why nothing else around. Huh? Yeah, though that pink eye is very contagious. She thinks she got hers off a slot machine handle. Huh? Oh, chiropractors. I'm not a believer in chiropractic. Oh, that's TMJ. Yeah, there's different theories on that too. Most people that I know with TMJ, they're all nerved up, hostile people, you know. I mean, not always, but just what I've observed. I'm not a chiropractic guy. I'd rather go and get a shot for a heartworm. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, if you go in there, it's psychosomatic, right? It's double blind studies, triple blind studies. Placebos are effective. And, if you buy into this shit, I'm sure you get relief. No shit, my enemy. Wow. Yeah, I'm not saying that, it's up to people. If you want to go, good luck to you. But if I'm at a party or something and there's a chiropractor there and I listen to them start talking about this shit, it's like, you know, there's one up here that's always recommending like soldier replacement or shoulder replacement, knee replacement. He's got this dingbat girlfriend he lives with, and I listen to these two idiots like they're trying to jive in a conversation like they're legitimate medical professionals and that they could actually make a diagnosis on a referral for a joint. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man. Headache, maybe. In Michigan, I know 40 years ago that chiropractors weren't even allowed to suggest supplements. That's how restricted they made these clowns. Yeah, same here, Rita. Yeah, serious quack vibes. And you look on the wall if you go in one and they've got a certificate of surgery. Like surgery for what? I don't know if it's still that way now, but for quite a while you could get into chiropractic school with shitty grades and you didn't even need a 4-year degree. Now, not that that makes or breaks someone that could be a good doctor, but they're nowhere near in the same sphere as legitimate MDs and DOs. No way. Serious quack vibes. Yeah, it's like these people that go to Tijuana to get tummy tucks and breast enhancements and that kind of thing. No thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I think, but these clowns will tell you they're going to get rid of your arthritis and, everybody's got a crooked spine and, that noise you hear is the facet joints and they're naive enough to think that that's the relief of what's caused their problems. Just the whole thing's nonsense. It's right next to magic tricks. And like in Michigan on that $10,000 PIP, these insurance claims, that's how they all get rich. They'll blow through that 10 grand in no time with these never ending visits. Right on, Miami. Yeah, you're right, Miami. That donkey stuff's a myth, too. I'm not saying it never happened, but that's another urban folklore. No, me either, Rita. No way. No, you're right, Chris. That's exactly right. No, yeah, no, I believe it. But this nerve impingement and all the things that your spine being aligned. What a bunch of bullshit, man. I'll tell you another one. If you talk to optometrist, I mean they obviously perform a vital function. They're relatively intelligent people. They a good one does a good job, but you're not a medical doctor. And I have here these guys now. They've allowed them to do a little more than they used to be able to do. But the bottom line is an optometrist is not doing anything invasive. Nothing. He's not doing any eye surgery. But they think that they're like legit medical professionals when they're dilating your pupil and giving you some stuff for iritis or some eye inflammation. Well, it's basically either it works or it doesn't. They're not doing anything that's going to make anybody worse. Excuse me. Yeah, but some of these optometrists, I got a friend of mine up here. His sons are both optometrists, and he talks around like they're running around doing surgery, which is fucking nonsense. They're not. Same thing with podiatrists. That's mainly 99% of they are not regular medical professionals, which what's scary is they're allowed to do foot surgery. And you'd say, well, why is that? I'll tell you why. Nobody else wants to do with it. If you talk to an orthopedic surgeon, he doesn't want to mess with feet. They think they're boring. So these podiatrists actually can do foot surgeries, which is scary. Yeah, I'm sure there are guys out there that do a good job, plantar fasciitis, all these kind of things. But when you look at qualities and like MCAT scores and grade points and the places they got in, they're just not the same population as a legitimate medical professional that went to an American school that is board certified. Well, DOs in theory treat the body as a whole. And back in the day, they would do manipulation as well. And people looked at them as more of they liked that theory as a body as a whole, and they weren't going to be overprescribed medication. But honestly, Rita, in this day and age, there's not much difference at all. If you go into a hospital, DOs have less higher GPAs and MCAT scores than MDs. It's across the board. And I don't know of anybody that is a, well, I do. Ted got into the MD program, and so did his brother. But almost all DOs did not get accepted into MD programs, and they became DOs. But in this day and age, there's not much difference at all, other than the DO will do some manipulation. They're doing the same residencies and the same internships in the same hospitals. You're hard pressed to find any difference. They start at the same pay. They go up through the ranks. And you do find DOs in like legitimate professions like ophthalmology, orthopedic surgery, whatever. But the numbers are way different. If you look at like 10,000 DOs and 10,000 MDs, most of the DOs are family practitioners. They're not going on to the advanced medical specialties. I bet she was, because the mom was a much smarter person and she knew the credentials you needed. Neurosurgery, that's a whole sub gift of like super bright people. And there's only 3,000 neurosurgeons at any time in the United States, right around that number. And brain surgery is a whole nother subspecialty. Most neurosurgeons are doing spine surgery. Uh, the brain surgeons are few and far between, but a podiatrist, it's bunions, clipping diabetics' toenails. I'm not saying they're idiots, but they're not on the same level of, not even close to a neurosurgeon that does brain surgeries. Most neurosurgeons, they may have, done a rotation with brain surgery, but they're not drilling any holes in anybody's heads anywhere. It's spine surgery. And, like I tell people all the time, you can only line the cards up as good as you can. If I needed something done, would I go to a DO? Probably not. Is it impossible? No. You have DOs that are excellent at what they do. But if you crunch the numbers, I mean, it's like stars on restaurants. When you're driving down the highway, do you look up and see who has the lowest stars and you eat there? No. You look at the highest stars, and not that that's a slam dunk of accuracy every time, but all you can do is line up the cards as good as you can. I go to an MD that's board certified, that went to a good school, and, it doesn't mean that he couldn't cut my balls off accidentally, but that happens. They're not perfect. It's just a generalization numbers game. Hey, Chris. No, this is just a chat, Chris. This isn't StreamYard. It's not StreamYard. It's just a chat. And let me tell you, a DO like today's uh, healthcare professionals, being a DO or even an MD that's an internal medicine or a family practitioner guy, they will work your ass to death. They treat these doctors as like redheaded stepchildren. But the truth of the matter is, they're very well educated at what they do. You have to know about everything. Everything's got to be documented. You stand a chance of getting sued. Now, in general, the specialties are brighter people, but it doesn't mean that you're just a fuck off by being a family practitioner. That's a hard job. The amount of knowledge these people have is crazy. I mean, they see 30, 40, 50 people a day listening to all this small talk, experienced patients lying to you. A perfect example is young girls coming in talking about abdominal problems. They ask them the medical questionnaire, are you sexually active? No, no. Have you had sex in the last year? No. And they find out they're pregnant. So now when you go into a medical facility, if you're a younger female, they don't care what you say. They're going to verify it with the test because they're lied to so often. You're sitting down with regard to drinking and drug use and all sorts of shit, how sexually. So you're dealing with someone that you're trying to help that's not telling you the truth. So I couldn't do it in a million years. Internal medicine, they're like subspecialties. I mean, you can be internal medicine and board certified in geriatric medicine, or you can just be a family practitioner. It's kind of the same. No, it's super stressful, Melissa. Never had a break. That's how my buddy is that lives up here. Oh, yeah, it's absolutely crazy. That's another problem in hospitals, too, is nurses that think they're doctors. Hey, Holden, how you doing? Not everyone lies. That's not true. It's not true. There are people that don't lie. But when you're lying about someone that's trying to help you, that's a different animal. I mean, you get nowhere by lying to someone that's trying to make a diagnosis based on what you present. Stupid. Dr. House, who is that? Yeah, that happens. But if you're like a physician now on the front lines, internal medicine, family practitioner, you're the first person to see. I mean, these hospitals you got to document everything. I mean, in a big, huge way. You're right about that, Melissa. I'd agree with you. Oh, a TV show. Okay. Well, he doesn't know everyone for starters. So I don't know how he could answer that. There are people that don't lie. Yeah, but I'm telling you, most of these top-notch medical professionals, they're professionals. They're driven, super smart, uh, people that they are in no way lazy. My dad always used to describe it. It didn't matter what it was, an airplane mechanic, a carpenter, a dentist, whatever it was that they did. Dear old dad would say they'd rather do that than fuck. And that was his way of letting me know how dedicated they were to their craft. Yeah, Dad, I get it. Okay, they must be really good at it then. Thank you. God, how I miss old Dad. Good night, Luna. Brush those teeth one last time. Yeah, that's true. That's kind of happened that way. But for the first initial appointment, that's a money saving cost. I mean, you're right about that though, Holden. That's true. Yeah, he was a character, right? Super like, you know, white trashy. He was a weird guy, man. It's one of the reasons why I didn't go to his funeral. Like a shitty parent. Kind of advice is that to give to a kid, or a statement to make that it's like, oh, Johnny paints cars. It's like, okay, is he any good? He said he'd rather paint cars than fuck. It's like, yeah, okay, thanks. Damn, man. Yes, embarrassing. Yeah. That's why I never spend much time sitting around how I turned out being nuts. I can easily blame it on my childhood. Yeah, you'd say that about anything. Hunting, fishing, airline pilot. Yeah. Mr. Tactful. It's crazy. Yeah, yeah, Zen. That's it. Yeah. Was what it was. Yeah, there was no wondering he was talking about. There was another guy, a real bitter guy. I mean, he died of lung cancer at the end. I had moved to Florida and I had had a disagreement with him and we didn't talk for a long time. Then I found out he was dying. His son got killed on a motorcycle when we were in high school and I went back there and tried to help that old motherfucker because he'd been so good to me in a lot of ways. It was always like Bobby Knight kind of, parenting, it wasn't like the healthiest version, but it was better than nothing. And he was a bitter guy. His wife had had an affair with a friend of his, and all women were cunts and whores, and you couldn't trust him and that kind of thing. And his famous statement was all the time, and now mind you, I'm a young teen about religion. He said if he ever got a chance, he'd fuck the Virgin Mary in the ass. God. And he and he would bring this shit up constantly. It's like, oh my God, man. He's telling us kids this. I came from a crazy ass background. Yeah, I know. He'd say it all the time, like my dad did about other stuff. No, I know. Yeah. Yeah, he'd say it all the time. And he'd set it up in stories so he could say it like more than you normally would. The story'd come. He said, yeah. And then here it would come. He said, if I ever get out, I know. He said, if I ever get an opportunity, I'm going to fuck the Virgin Mary in the ass. I shouldn't be laughing. I mean, I'm sure I'm fucking going to hell anyway, just from knowing this son of a bitch. It's like we're kids. It's like everybody else is down to love the Lord, and, uh, repent. Yeah, I know, and like, do the good thing and the Ten Commandments. This guy's talking this shit. Believe it or not, and this isn't like me, but I actually visit that fucker's grave, even though I don't believe in this shit. And his sons are right next to each other. And I have a stillborn brother and sister that are in the same graveyard. And I do this just because, I could be wrong about everything that I think. I don't know that, you just piece together things as good as you can. And I know there's nobody to to do this. All their relatives are dead and gone. And if there's some truth to it, and there is some chance, I know that I'm the only guy that will do it, so I do. It's crazy. I have never been to my dad's grave or my mother's. So weird. I think it's a waste of time at the same time too. God. Life is crazy, man. No, he was given up for adoption at 12 and ran away and just lived on his own and worked jobs. He didn't. His mother got banged by a traveling salesman. He never knew his original dad. And when she hooked up with another guy, the guy told him, get the fuck out of here. So he ran away. No, didn't know anything. Actually, that's not even my real name. He had a legal name change, like when he was 20. Reed is a made up name. No, I didn't know anything about it. Yeah, yep. I never really checked into it. I did see a little thing in some old papers one time. It was like a 5-syllable name, like he was Scottish. He just thought he didn't know his dad, didn't like him, didn't want to know him, and didn't want that name, and he thought it was too hard to pronounce, so he just went with something easy. He made it up. Yeah, it was definitely a hard life for sure. Yeah, big time. And he was quite a bit older than my mom. He was 50 years old when I was born. Really smart guy, but labor in a factory his whole life. Hardcore alcoholic. He drank a fifth a day for 45 years, never got a ticket, an accident, and never missed a day of work. Cheapest son of a bitch that ever lived in your life. His favorite time of the year was working a double shift on a holiday when he should have been on vacation. The union was strong back then. And yeah, that's how it was with mine too. Yep. Yeah, crazy. Now I can remember thinking as a kid, I used to wish my parents would get killed in a car accident so I could be adopted. I knew my parents were crazy. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's all he did, man. He didn't never been on an airplane, never went on a boat, scared to death of the water. He was a real good-looking guy. Looked like George Hamilton, never lost any hair. I can remember and he wasn't a skirt chaser either. I can remember my buddies' mothers saying how good-looking my dad was. You didn't think about anything about it as a kid. Yeah. Well, back then, I'm sure they would have got divorced, but the women, my mom worked in a drugstore. I mean, they couldn't support themselves. Yeah, no, I get it, Melissa. I know. Yeah. Yeah, right. Isn't that crazy, my enemy? Yeah. That's why, when you're growing up and you're seeing these love stories, and it's like, what the fuck are these people talking about, man? And like these Christmas shows, A Wonderful Life. Are you shitting me? At least that touched on some of the realities of a typical marriage during trying times. It wasn't like totally fake, like Ozzie and Harriet. Yeah. I think Gilligan's Island. I can remember, being young and thinking Gilligan's Island's like, God damn, I wish I'd have gotten stranded on that island with those girls. It didn't even occur to me as a young guy. Like, where are they getting makeup and these dresses and stuff, running around bikinis? It's like, this is awesome, man. I want to be in a shipwreck. Yeah, Walton's Homecoming and Bewitched. No, that happened to me too. Although, to be honest with you, I don't want to say that I got lucky, but my whole street, man, there were some fucked up families. I didn't really have like I couldn't tell you of a family that I wished I belonged to. I don't know, it was just part of the era and, unions were strong and there was a lot of money around and that's just the way it was, for uneducated, ignorant people. But my upbringing wasn't that different than a lot of my buddies. Drunk dad, no parenting, they gave you a place to come home to and a dinner, and other than that, it was nothing. My parents, they didn't even like know anything about me like going to college and anything. They didn't care, what are you majoring in? And then I took flying lessons, nothing. My dad told me one time I was going to kill myself in a plane crash. I'm like 16 taking flying lessons. Yeah, family dynamics, you're right. Yeah, it's exactly right. Loved each other in a fucked up way. When my mother died, which I was only like 25 in 1982, and there wasn't a lot of yelling and screaming, some, but just dysfunction, sleeping in separate beds the whole time I knew him, that kind of thing. And I can remember at my mother's funeral service, my dad crying for about 10 seconds. And it was something that the priest said. And it was like, This would have like you would have turned up music to like 200 decibels. Like I can remember like it happening like it happened an hour ago. And it just like made such an impression on me to see emotion like this from this like cold fish guy. And then it was over. Oh wow, Melissa. Yeah, yeah, Stoic. That, they claim if you read about Stoicism and Stoic and the definition of it, it's really kind of all over the place. And my wife used to call her mother Stoic all the time, and she was just a old, ignorant, fucking diehard German. She wasn't born here, but she was second generation. And I remember thinking Stoic, and I thought, we got in an argument one time. I said, "Your mom's too dumb to be Stoic." And then it's funny because I was just looking it up the other day and reading about it again. And the definition that she hung her hat on was that acting positive in stressful times despite their life circumstances. But back in the day when she was referencing her mother as being stoic, that wasn't my interpretation of the definition. Isn't that weird? Oh, that's interesting, Chris. Yeah, I know you're right. I did. Yeah, I did at one time, my enemy. Yep, you're right. That's exactly it. Yep. No, that's possible. Hip to my trip. Yeah, isn't that weird? Became nicer when he drank. Yeah, bingo. Yeah, it's so wild. Hey, hip to my trip. Did you hook up with any of those ladies? I got a fast internet connection in Georgia now. So if you need those again, I can send you the whole report. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, I think I get friendlier when I drink. Honestly, I'm lucky. I could take or leave drinking. Okay, I'll do it when I get back. Oh, really, my enemy? Oh, okay. Yeah, I notice like the last 5 years, I don't want to watch like animals getting killed in like YouTube videos and stuff. Oh, okay. Melissa, would you agree that alcohol li- uh, uh, eases your inhibitions? What do you guys think on alcohol, getting drunk? Has that been your experience? You lost your inhibitions. What does it do to you? I'm lucky. I can take it or leave it. I mean, I've just quit drinking on a whim for a couple years. It's like no problem. Even now, I could take it or leave it. Even though I like Dragon's Milk, I could like not drink it just as easy. It's like, well, if you could not drink it, why don't you just don't drink it? Well, you're right. That's true. So I guess I get the edge to drinking it, but it wouldn't take much for me to not drink it. Yeah, I'll be back in a week or so, hip to my trip. But I don't know if that's just a cross. Oh, does it? Oh, really, my enemy? Oh, okay. Yeah, but why? What did that have to do with survival, Rita? Being stoic. Oh, you think it does hip to my trip? Oh, you do too, Melissa. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Oh, that's interesting. Rita, did it lower your inhibitions? No, no, just drinking, like, feeling the effects of alcohol. Would you say it lowered your inhibitions? I mean, I always think the notion of social drinking is interesting. You can go to a formal cocktail party and, people aren't getting trashed and fucking in the back seat out in the parking lot, but they are under the influence of alcohol, like where it begins and where it quits. You know what I mean? It's interesting to me. Yeah, I've never smoked marijuana, so I don't know. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Rita, do you think alcohol in your case would reduce your inhibitions? But here's the deal. Here's the $50,000 question. If it does, so what? I mean, presumably, you're with someone you're attracted to, and if it reduces your inhibitions and you fuck in June instead of July, isn't that mission accomplished? I mean, it seems like to have like kind of a negative connotation of loss of control or outside your own volition, which just doesn't seem logical. Yeah, I never messed around with smoking marijuana. I just did a few gummies. I didn't really like it, man. It made me like nervous. Oh, okay, relaxing. Yeah, but relaxing, you're talking about with alcohol. Okay. How about this? You date 1,000 guys, and then with 1,000 you don't drink, and with 1,000 you did. All considering all things being equal, would you have more sex when you drank than when you didn't? Because that's different than relaxing. Oh, okay, Melissa. What do you think about that, Chris? And Rita, where would sober fit into the 1,000 number? It'd be less, wouldn't it? So if that's true, that it is inhibitions. Oh, I think big time, Bopak. I think big time. It's kind of like the Stoic definition. It's like depends how you define it. But I bet there's tons of people walking around on this earth that wouldn't be otherwise if it wasn't for drinking. Well, I know the person, but I'm talking about. I just think that it does reduce your inhibitions, and you are like more likely to have sex drinking than not. That's what I think. Yeah, you're right, Melissa. Yeah. Oh, okay. Because really, if you think about it. Oh, really? I didn't know that, my enemy. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know about the relaxing. I don't know of anybody that I hear people say they do it to take the edge off, but that's different than relaxing, I think. Taking the edge off. I mean, all when I was young, I'd think to myself, you go someplace and you were just dating someone. It's like, would you like a drink? No, I don't drink. I'd say to myself, it's going to take me forever to get in your pants. And why did I think that? Because of past history. Yeah, you're right. He's right because it isn't all negative. It isn't all negative. Now this thing's not showing the people on the chat again. You can see the comments. And I think it might have stuck again. This is such bullshit with this thing. Could somebody make a comment? I think this thing is not working again. And I've got a good cell phone signal here. I mean, good enough for a chat, I would think. 2 o'clock. Yeah, this thing is fucking on the fritz again. Well, I think I'm going to go to bed anyway, you guys. So appreciate you coming on. I can't see your comments after the last one that Rita left. So I'll probably have some more of these while I'm here. It's a fun conversation. Thank you. And you guys party on. I don't know what it's doing on your end. Chris, Rita, Melissa, hip to my trip. You guys party on tonight.